Good morning. We are extremely pleased that you are here. It's good to come together for the purpose of co-creating. Do you agree? You are knowing what you are wanting. Your desires are feeling good, yes? Meaning you believe what you want. Not so much. That's what we'll talk about as we are together today. How to accomplish vibrational clarity or alignment or resonance with your own desires. You're expanding constantly because life is causing you to expand. Knowing what you don't want causes you to ask for something different, sometimes a little different, sometimes a lot different. So as these desires are continually taking shape, the larger part of you, the source energy part of you, the soul part of you, we call it your inner being, that part of you adjusts to the new requests as if they already have been accomplished. Because vibrationally speaking, when you ask, it has become accomplished. You don't know that so much because in your physical form, beautiful physical form, you want to see it and hear it and smell it and taste it and touch it, and that takes a while. It takes some consistent focusing in order for something to come about in its full vibrational beingness. And that's why you're here in these physical bodies. You were source energy before a part of that consciousness focused within you. But the reason that this energy is focused within you is because you are a creator and you want to create fully. You want to be a leading edge part of thoughts turning to things, of vibrations becoming reality. You want to see it and hear it and smell it and taste it and touch it. You want to take it all the way home. And so do all of us. All of us are focused with you. But you leading edge creators, you're right out here on the leading edge. You get to bring it all the way into fruition. You get to interpret it through your physical senses. And that is such a wonderful thing. However, you get sort of hung up on that part of it. And so in many cases, you don't want to believe something until you see it. And then it's too late. Because by the time you see something, you already believe it, whether you want it or not. A belief is just a thought you continue to think. And if you continue to think any thought, it will become your reality. That's just the way it works. In the early days, Esther said to us, Abraham, what about such and such? And we would sometimes say, not the best thing for you to focus upon today. And Esther would say, but it's true. And I've learned that when things are true, they deserve your attention. And we said, we wouldn't give our attention to things only because they are true. We would use a different set of criteria. We would say, if it is something wanted, give undivided attention. If it is not something wanted, then look somewhere else. Because you live in a universe that is based upon attraction. It's attraction, it's attraction, it's attraction. It's inclusion. It's not get away from me and it goes away. There's no exclusion in this vibrational universe. So when you see something that you want and you say yes to it, you include it, you attract it. And in time, it and you will be in the same place. If you see something you don't want and you say, no, 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 no to you, you're actually saying, yes, 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 come closer, closer, please. Because there is no yes or no, there's only attention or not attention. So the way you give your attention to wanted things is by caring about how you feel. And in time, we'll talk a lot about that here today. And the way you withdraw your attention from something not wanted is by giving your attention to something wanted. When you say, I'm not going to think about that, you're thinking about it. I'm not going to think about that thing I don't want. I'm not going to think about that. I'm not going to think about it. I'm not going to think about it. You are thinking about it. You're thinking about it. And the thing that trips you up the most is that every subject is really two subjects, wanted and absence of wanted. It's like a long stick with wanted on one end and absence of wanted or not wanted or unwanted on the other end. And sometimes you think you're talking about love, but you've got hate in your heart. You think you're talking about prosperity, but you feel vulnerable and insecure about your financial situation. And the universe is not listening to your words. The universe is listening to your vibration. Your words often reflect your vibration, but here's the thing we most want you to hear. Don't try to use your words to cover up your vibration. Don't pretend that you feel differently than you do, because the universe is not responding to your words, whether they are pretending or not. The universe is responding to what you really are offering vibrationally. And you can tell what you really are offering vibrationally by what you're feeling. We have a lot to talk about today together, don't we? And we are eager to discuss it with you. Don't worry. Everything that you have come wanting to know about, you've already projected it vibrationally. It is already broadcast to us. We already know what it is, and we know the best way of helping you come to an understanding of whatever it is. So sometimes you've got a question and you're waving your hand, and someone over there will sit in the hot seat and do the perfect job of bringing the answer to your question. So just relax and know that if your question is active, the answer is too. You've been listening to us for a while? Let's jump right into it then. Let's get right to what matters to you. And don't worry about us. We will wedge our message in the crack. What do you want to talk about? It's going to be a good day. A lot of trouble here, though. A lot of trouble. Begin right here.
Good morning.
It is.
My question is about getting up to speed with a calling or purpose where it seems like there's more put in by your subconscious or contrast than you're putting in. So an example being how Esther came to Abraham, that was slowly revealed to her.
It's not quite like that. It isn't that Source is slowly revealing to you. It's that Source is revealing to you, and you're getting it only to the degree that you're ready to get it. Because there's no assertion. We can't thrust our clever knowing upon you.
Right.
We can just know it and offer it in all the ways we know. And we do have a sense of what your beliefs are that you might be tripping over. So we can guide you around those a little bit. But you don't need to worry about it. If you have a desire, Source is answering it. And if you are sincere about wanting to know your answer, it will come to you in one way or another.
Right. So I guess my example is I came in April and started meditating, and I had similar experiences. I had chair rocking. I had the question answered in Houston, but I was not up to speed with that energy. And so I kind of backed off of that. And so it's not like I have a calling to be a doctor, lawyer, accountant. It feels like there's a purpose not revealed to me, and I'm having to undo layers of an onion versus...
That's really not how it is. So you're talking about a calling. So we want to explain what that calling that you're talking about is. You were Source energy before you came into this physical body. And yes, you had intentions. And you could call that a calling. I want to be an uplifter. I want to be of value to myself and others. I want to have a wonderful life. I want to live in joy and love. You had all of those powerful intentions. But the details, the way that that all played out, was really left to you to decide based upon the data that you were exploring and the contrast that you were living. And so when you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. And through that process of living life, you stepped right in, without even needing to know about it, into a creative process where you were launching rockets of desire continuously. If someone's rude, you know you want them to be nicer. When you don't feel good, you know you want to feel better. You know you want thriving for yourself and others. So there was so much life experience that caused you to identify what you wanted. And here's something important: to identify what you wanted beyond what you were currently experiencing. Because if there's anything that you really are, it's an expansive, evolving, creative being. And so more clarity and more knowledge and more opportunity to love and be loved, more wonderful life, more joy, more potential for all things. That's really what you are powerfully about. So when you launch those rockets of desire from the contrast that everyone is living, you are not a vibrational match to the new. You are a vibrational match to what is. What is the platform that causes the bouncing off of the more. Well, once you bounce off into a new request, a new decision, a new preference, a new desire, once that launches from you, now you've got some serious catching up to do, because life caused you to be clear enough to ask for it. And you can have it. And if you don't, you'll be miserable. And the reason you'll be miserable, you and your human body will be miserable, is because when you ask, your inner being went where you ask and became what you ask for. Now, before any of this is going to make sense, we have to get some things sort of out here in the open. You're vibrational mostly, and you don't know it. And your inner being is vibrational only, and you often don't know it. Consciousness is all around you, and you are consciousness primarily. So when you launch a rocket of desire, a thought about something that you want, there is a vibrational reality that happens. And since you are mostly vibration, if you don't catch up with that vibrational reality, because your inner being did immediately, then there's some vibrational separation within you, which equals your guidance system. When you feel negative emotion, it always means your inner being joined your new request. And all that has gathered the harmonic, cooperative components to it. And when you feel negative emotion, it means you are the exceptional holdout to that. And the reason that you often don't go right along with your own beliefs or with your own desires is because you have beliefs that contradict them. I can't do that. I'm not good at that. I've never done that. I don't know people who mostly do that. My mother might not like it if I do that. What would other people think if I do that?
Or this is way too big. This is big, you know.
It's too big for me. It's too much for me. I'm too humble to allow it. There are all kinds of things that you have come to believe. Remember, a belief is just a thought you continue to think. But it's also a thought that equals a vibration that is active. So an active vibration that feels like doubt because it contradicts your desire. So we can tell you all day long, you can be or do or have anything. But until you know that yourself, which takes some practice, because, dear friends, you've been practicing otherwise. And your thoughts are where you last left them. And so what happens that is so wonderful is that life causes you to launch desires. Whoops, didn't mean to do that because I don't believe it. Wish I could suck that back because I don't believe it. And the problem that you face is that your inner being does believe it, because your inner being knows about you. Your inner being knows your power and your value. And that's that calling that you were talking about. Your inner being knows it so well and is constantly calling you toward it. But sometimes it's awkward when the call is coming. Come over here, you brilliant one. No, I can't. I'm not brilliant. Come here, you wise and wonderful one, and experience all of this abundance that you are worthy of. No, I cannot do that because I've been taught that there is not spirituality and abundance in the same place. So it takes some letting go of beliefs that don't serve you.